After 48 hours of the Real Madrid election, Florentino Perez, the newly elected Real Madrid president, has delivered one of his biggest campaign promises. Florentino Perez will go down in history as one of the first presidents to deliver his biggest, campaign promises on a short notice. They elect you 48 hours down the lane and you deliver your promises like that. But what kind of promise has Florentino Perez delivered? We'll talk about it in this particular video. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kobo. Welcome back to Kobo Sports Room and welcome back to another video. Click on the subscribe button, press the post notification bell. Let's get straight into the video. So yesterday, we heard an official communique from Real Madrid that they have sent 150 million euros bid for Julian Alvarez for him to move from Atletico Madrid to Real Madrid. And just right after that, Atletico Madrid also dropped a public statement to reject that 150 million bid Real Madrid sent to them, and then said all sort of things. In the course of me talking about it, you will see some of the tweets, hilarious tweets on your screen right now. But the fact still stands. When Florentino Perez was coming in or was campaigning for this particular election, one thing stood out, and I think most people didn't realize it, or most people didn't, looked at that particular campaign very, very, very well. What he promised and what he could have given is two different things. It's two different things. I saw it earlier on. Look at what I said 24 hours ago when Florentino Perez was not elected as the Real Madrid president. Look at what I said.
So what is Florentino Perez going to do? Now, Florentino Perez will promise you that because he's a politician, he will promise you he will send the 150 million bid, knowing very well that it is going to be unsuccessful. And he will come back and tell you, I tried my best, but they didn't accept the bid, and there's nothing we can do. Now he has been re-elected as the president. He will continue his job as the president. That is just it. That's why I'm saying they are moving like what? African politicians. They make empty promises and they know themselves these promises are unachievable. They cannot deliver these promises, but they will make the promises to you, knowing very well that you will fall for it.
Yes, we are back, and 48 hours down the lane, this is what has happened. So they reject the 150 million bid. In my previous video, I told you Real Madrid presidents Florentino Perez, Enrique Riquelme, they are moving like African politicians. I told you. Yes, because I knew what was going to happen. That is how politicians move. He promised you he was going to, offer 150 million for a Galactico. Let's ask ourselves, is Julian Alvarez that kind of Galactico? Can he be that Galactico signing right now? No. When he said that, there were rumors. There were rumors about Joao Neves. There were rumors about Vitinha. There were rumors about Michael Olise. In fact, he was the guy that was, standing on top of all the names. Because if you want to send 150 million for a player right now, and the player is playing in the Premier League, the player is playing in the Spanish Premier La Liga, as Florentino Perez clarified that he's not playing in the Premier League, he's not playing in the Spanish Premier La Liga. He's not. He said a whole lot. In fact, he said a whole lot. And when you look at all the indications, it was pointing out to one particular direction, which is Michael Olise, who plays for Bayern Munich, and he's a French boy. He's playing currently in the US with the French team. Of course, they are preparing for the World Cup. So all indications were pointing out to one particular direction, which was Michael Olise. Now, 48 hours down the lane, Florentino Perez dropped the bomb that he has, sent a bid, or he has offered Atletico Madrid 150 million euros for Julian Alvarez, which is also a Barcelona major target in this particular summer. We'll come to Barcelona and what this means for Barcelona. We'll come to that side, but let's talk about Florentino Perez. It is some way. If you are a Real Madrid social, if you are a Real Madrid fans, let me ask you, have you been deceived? Are you deceived? Do you feel sorry for yourself for voting for him and then he coming out to come and, channel this, communicate to us, do this particular thing to us? Are you disappointed? Drop all your comment down below. Let me know what you think, whether you are disappointed. But it was clear that a president that over 4 years, 5 years down the lane, he has never bought players big, unless the team needs the player. Let's be real. Real Madrid doesn't need Julian Alvarez right now. He is not a need. He might probably be a want, but he's not a need right now. Real Madrid need a right winger. And Olise could have filled that, position, because Kylian Mbappe will be striking. So Olise could have filled that position. But Julian Alvarez, who is a striker, Real Madrid doesn't need a striker right now. So he offering that 150 million for that particular striker, who was also a Barcelona major target this season or this summer. They have been negotiating with Atletico Madrid this summer. It is appalling. It doesn't make sense if you are a Real Madrid fan. So let me ask you, are you disappointed or you are not disappointed? Because for a president like Florentino Perez, I was skeptical whether he was going to spend 150 million for a particular player or one player in this summer. No, because he's currently negotiating for Ibrahima Konate. He has bought Denzel Dumfries, who have solved the right back, because Dani Carvajal is leaving. So he has solved that particular problem at the right hand side. People have been criticizing Trent Alexander-Arnold that he is not there. Defensively, he's not strong, so he has brought Denzel Dumfries to compete with Trent Alexander-Arnold. These two players are top players, two top right backs in the world that will be competing in a club like Real Madrid. So he has solved that particular problem. Now he's looking to solve the midfield issues at Real Madrid. So everything was pointing to one direction, that he was never going to spend 150 million on a player, let alone going to spend it on Julian Alvarez. It is never going to be possible. Do you know what I think? I think that the player was actually Michael Olise, but he saw that Bayern Munich was never and are never going to, sell Olise this summer for 150 million. He knew that and he saw that, but he still promised it. By the way, that's what politicians do. I'm shocked that Real Madrid socials didn't see this coming. I am really shocked, because when you check the general, feeling in the Real Madrid fans and then in the Real Madrid socials, most of them seem disappointed. I'm shocked that you didn't see this coming. And of course, in the year of 2000, Florentino Perez did the same thing. So people were believing in him. Florentino Perez has changed. The 2000 Florentino Perez is not the Florentino Perez of 2026. 2026 years down the lane, men change, people change. Culture change, strategy change. That is football. Football is dynamic. Football is like culture. I don't know why people fall for this particular thing. Of course, Atletico Madrid has rejected that bid. They are not going to sell Julian Alvarez to Real Madrid, and then it doesn't look like Real Madrid are going to go back again for Julian Alvarez, because in fact there has been reports that Real Madrid would never go back for Julian Alvarez again. I told you this was what is going to happen. Now, what does it mean for the campaign strategy of Enrique Riquelme going into next year? I am in the Enrique Riquelme's team. I am in his team going to the next election. Enrique Riquelme, let's regroup. Let's re-strategize and come back stronger, because when we come back stronger, we are going to get the more of the the 35% vote that we got. We are going to get more. So let's regroup, re-strategize, and come back. And then I am very, very confident that we are going to win. Now, with all this brouhaha going on, what does it mean for Barcelona? Because it means that Barcelona must go and pay the 150 million with good structures. Because if you are paying 150 million, you cannot pay it, in 5 years, or you cannot spread it in 5 years, because Real Madrid has sent 150 million. Now, we don't know the details of that particular bid, but it means that Barcelona must, it is a must, because now they were negotiating around the 150 million. Because mind you, the valuation for Atletico Madrid is 150 million for Julian Alvarez. That has always been the valuation. But they have seen that these two top teams are fighting for one player. So obviously, the price is going to skyrocket. So what it means for Barcelona is that they have to, by all means, pay that particular 150 million with good structures. I stress on that, with good structures. It must, come in a way that Atletico Madrid will be comfortable with that particular bid, or pay more than 150 million with a normal structure of paying that particular money. That is what it means for Barcelona. So Florentino Perez has delivered a campaign. So 3 things here. Florentino Perez has delivered his campaign promises. Florentino Perez has successfully almost blocked the way of Julian Alvarez moving to Barcelona, and Florentino Perez has also successfully weakened the transfer strategy of Barcelona this particular summer. If it is not Florentino Perez, who is going to do it? He is the biggest politician probably in world football right now, or in European football right now. So I mean, he can do that. He can do that. So Real Madrid fans, I mean, now let me know your comment. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know your feeling. Let me know how you felt when Julian Alvarez bid came in and all of that. Let me know your comment in the comment section. My name is Kobo. This is Kobo Sports Room, and this has been an editorial about Real Madrid and then Florentino Perez. Early campaign promises that has been delivered to the fans. Thank you so much for your time. I will see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves and peace.